my name is Rizana, and I just want to welcome you all here today. Thank you so much for coming, and wow, it's just, I don't know what to say because this can never be possible without you all. So we're just so grateful to have you here with us today, and we just want to start by doing a karakia. So I just want to hand the mic over to Mama Sally.
No mic?
No mic? Okay.
Ko raki, raki rua, raki rara, raki moa maga, ai tua tipona te waka au raki. No mai, haere mai te whanau tāwhito nā te pitu o te ao. No mai. Our translation is this. Our Māori belief is that all men were born in the umbilical cord of Kenya, Uganda, the Rift of Africa. So I welcome everybody. We are whānau tāwhito. We are one whānau. No mai. E ho mai toha. Lord, bring down your breath. Let it spread raki Māori e, bita auha, to all. Te tahi ki te tahi. No mai. To all our people, all our whanaunga ke o te ao. No mai. Haere mai. No mai. Kia ora. Assalamu alaikum. Kia ora.
Kia ora. Wow. I just wanted to point out something. She said that we are one people. That's what she said. And that's what we're here for. That nobody should be superior because of their skin color. And nobody should be looked down because of their skin color. We are one people. Thank you, Mama. Thank you. I would like to invite my friend Kittis to come and open us up with a speech.
I'm just going to start off by saying that I'm not a public speaker and I'm really scared to be up here right now, but I just have a question for everyone. Just raise your hand if you've ever been subject to any type of racism. At the age of 7, I was told that my skin was darker than everyone else's because I was dirty. I went home that night and I cried while I scrubbed my body so hard until I could physically see my skin peel off. I still, to this day, find myself scrubbing just that much harder during summer because comments I heard when I was a little girl stuck with me. It's things like being told beige and pink is skin colour in primary school, being told colonizers were heroes and saviour in history class, seeing that God is white in all the pictures in church, being told that curly natural hair is unprofessional at work and having to wait until Rihanna dropped Fenty Beauty to find the perfect shade of foundation for your skin. This is why our children are brought up to believe that we are not good enough, but we are. We are perfect the way we are, and the sun is attracted to our skin, and we are black, but we are proud of it. Black peoples have been taught and programmed to survive, not how to live. Since the end of slavery, since the civil rights movement, it has been shown time and time again that black people and people of colour will forever merely survive this life and not get the chance to live unless they are accepted by the white man. And the only way to be accepted is to earn him a few millions through the exploitation of your very culture, of your very being. I am beyond astonished at the support this Black Lives Matter movement has gotten, and I'm very proud of every single person who came out today to show allyship, but please don't let it stop there. Racism, prejudice and unjust systems don't go away because we have protested once or twice. We need to sign petitions, donate, continuously speak on this topic, and we need to hold every single person accountable for their racist actions, starting from a throwaway comment to anything more. We don't stop because we posted a black square. We don't stop because one racist cop is arrested. Instead, we push forward and we keep applying pressure so justice is served for every black body whose life was taken away by the hands of injustice. We persevere with the strength of Martin Luther King, Malcolm X and the Black Panthers to bring radical change. We keep fighting for black lives until they matter as much as any other life, because black lives matter. No matter the day, no matter the time, no matter the colour, a life should not be taken. A person should not feel less than because his skin pigmentation is that much darker. I saw a quote that said, we we must stop worrying about offending people because we're the ones getting killed. Every single person who is sick of hearing about racism, imagine living through it. Every person who is uncomfortable when the topic of racism was brought up, imagine fearing for your life every waking moment until your last breath. My message to every person here is and everyone watching at home is to keep fighting. When you leave here today, I ask you to challenge people, including yourself. How have you contributed and benefited from the systematic oppression while simultaneously having your knee on my neck, your privileges, the gun to my head, and the noose on a tree with my name on it? Every person, everybody who considers himself human, every person who sees what is going on and is not outraged by the centuries of force and prejudice spilled into our communities, into our minds, and into our daily lives is simply an empty container with no substance. Your silence is my death penalty, but I choose freedom and I scream justice until it is served. Do not let comments of ignorant people stop you from continuing the conversations of Black Lives Matter. Do not allow for media and others' opinions to dictate your stance when it comes to human rights. We stare racism in the face and we do not blink until there's change. We are the change and we are the future. Be the change and keep fighting. Black Lives Matter.
Did everyone hear that? Yeah. Black Lives Matters. Black Lives Matters. I just have my little sister wanting to do a poem for us today. Bidia, are you here? Come on up.
Thanks. Hi, my name is Bidia. Can you all hear me? Yeah. Okay. I wrote a poem to express my thoughts on what I think about all of this, so I hope you like it. Humanity has brought us great pleasures from time to time, but what's it all worth when we mistreat our own kind? Judging one by their face and colour, criticising while still blaming others. We had thought that we ended it after the treaty was signed, after the American Civil Rights War, after World War I and II. But we were wrong, because this war, the greatest war in history, still ceases to exist today. We're not trying to start a race war, we're trying to end one that has been going on for far too long. A reflection of history in which we are deemed to learn from. Not to repeat, but to learn and make the right choices. Let's not let history repeat itself. Instead, have an understanding of each other. Thank you.
Let me point that out again. She said, we're not here to start a racial war, but we are here to end one. We're here to end one that has been going on for far too long. I would like to invite Rain to give us some of her thoughts.
I want to start by saying I am not a public speaker either, but this is a message I feel is really important to just swallow that down and be here anyway. As Dr. David Tokuharu Maeda said, for those of you who do not experience racism, be publicly anti-racist. Support those who do. Which is something we need to commit to as allies, not just when it is easy, because combating social and systematic racism is not an easy battle, but that does not mean it is not one that we cannot win. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "A riot is the language of the unheard." So we need to listen, because we are not disconnected from what is happening in the US right now. We are standing on the same foundation of colonization and white supremacy, and just like in the US, where they are taught that they live in the greatest nation in the world, I think we in Aotearoa tend to have that same view. Collectively, socially, not to the same extremes maybe, but it's something I've been met with a lot when it comes to these conversations. And we need to start asking ourselves when being better than became good enough. Racism may be our legacy, but it does not have to be our future. By standing together in solidarity, not just today, not just when it's easy, by opposing racism in our homes, in our communities, as a people, and demanding the same from our government, we can bring about change for an equitable society, which is why I am going to be emailing the Prime Minister's Office, the Ministry of Justice, the Ministry of Police, and continue to ask for the acknowledgement, and not only that, but action against institutional racism in Aotearoa, because this is change that needs to happen. And I would ask that you would all join me in this message and make our voices heard, because together we can bring about change.
Thank you for that, Rain, and we need more people like you. We need more people like you to stand with us.
Black Lives Matter.
I would just like to invite anyone, if they have a poem or a waiata or any words that you would like to share with us. This is an open mic. You're more than to come and share it with us. Is there anyone? Yeah.
You can hear me, right? No, cool. Just something that the previous speaker touched on is that it's not being not racist is not the way to do it. Now you need to actually be anti-racism all the time, directly be anti-racist, because if everything was equal, then just simply not being racist to people wouldn't work. We are behind, and we need to come forward. No act of racism can go unnoticed. Call out your friends, your family, even strangers you overhear in public. Post stuff daily, weekly, a simple statement, article, question, linked to fallen bodies of innocent lives. Change can happen if we continue to ring in the ears of our peers, the public, and ultimately the government. Whether what you're supporting today here is new information for you, or whether you know the struggle through and through, the fact that you're here means that you're reinforcing and continuing to fight for. You're here, you're contributing to a larger group of people, which is way more powerful. Simply being here makes this a lot more powerful. And just on my last note, as painful as it is to get the message through to people who want to be ignorant, I urge you to push forward with the simple message to these people, and it's this. No one ever said that only Black Lives Matter, but until society actually shows us that they do, all lives never will. Thanks.
Thank you very much for that. Yeah.
Tēnā koutou katoa, talofa lava, kia orana, ulavinaka. Welcome. I just want to invite my tamariki up here. Hara mai girls. This is the reason I'm speaking today, is I'm a mother to 6 Samoan Pākehā daughters, whom I have 4 here today. So I wrote a poem in response to George Floyd's death, but also in response to the racism I know that my whānau have experienced and will experience, and that's not okay with me. So I'm just going to read it. My daughter asked me to pass the skin colour crayon. To my dismay, the peach was what my eyes lay on. Dark brown for you, I asked, or brown which is duller. Don't be silly, she said. Mum, you are skin colour. You see, I'm a daughter of white privilege, the Aryan poster child. Blonde hair, blue eyes, please keep my butter chicken mild. I am skin colour, I am peach, I am normal, I am white. I am colour of those whose way is always right. But if you're brown, chances are you're twice as likely to die by white hands who will ignore you as you cry. I can't breathe as you bleed and suffocate, as another white man obliviously officiates. Yet can we continue to label ourselves oblivious when the racism we see is no longer insidious? It's Tremaine's cartoons trivialising Samoa's measles deaths. It's Trump depicting white supremacy with every breath. It's Bob Jones expecting Māori to bring him breakfast in bed. It's George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Michael Brown lying dead. But that's not racism, still white people like to say. That's just a joke, a slip of the tongue. He got it in a way. He was resisting arrest. He matched the description. I never know I'd unknowingly paid my subscription to. White people are always right. White people, we have to stop with our insidious excuses. Our feigned ignorance just tightens black nooses. Our colour blindness erases stories of black oppression, leaving us to question expressions of black aggression. When we choose not to see the brownness of one's skin, then we are free to ignore white people's historical sin. We can pretend colonisation was about progression, forgetting that to people of colour it was murder and oppression. Prejudice plus power is racism defined, a cage in which brown people have been confined. A system where only the powerful make decisions, where prisoners are incarcerated by white division. So who is it who holds the power? Just take a look at the national party of the hour. Tom Miller, the captain of the all-whites team, would be certain to ensure whiteness reigns supreme. As Judith Collins cries upon her whitewashed throne, white fragility breaking her privileged bones, yet rheumatic fever stalks the capital, with mostly Polynesian children falling ill. While brown children search their crayons for skin colour, unknowingly willing the hue of their skin to be duller, white children always see their colour represented, the colour of their skin not documented in statistical overrepresentation of poor housing, employment and education. White people, let's educate ourselves. Let's pull our stereotypes from dusty shelves. Let's examine them with a critical lens where racism includes a joke between friends. Where reverse racism isn't a thing because in what white land is black man the king? Where Black Lives Matter isn't a call to hate. It's a call to white people to recognise the state of our world where whiteness equals a higher chance of staying alive while outrunning a sleep in bed or out for a drive. And white privilege isn't the absence of lack, but it's never being discriminated against because you're black. White privilege means the colour of your face gives you more advantage to win the race. White people, may our privilege be demolished. May the invisible chains of white fragility be abolished. Let white supremacy not be confined to the KKK, but let it be obliterated from everything we do and say. Must it take another white knee on another black man's neck for us to take a knee and keep ourselves in check? Let's kneel in solidarity with our brown friends, because brown blood must be stemmed. Kia ora. Okay.
Just want to say that the battle can be a struggle every day, working with people from different tribes and different creeds on the wall, on the sea wall, Syrians and Maori, and sometimes you can find yourself falling into particular thought patterns because of the pain and the suffering that is within all of us and which all of us carry, and it's something that we have to address every day because these things are much deeper than we can really imagine. And speaking of someone with Irish ancestry and what the Irish were put through as well, and the suffering and the pain, and I believe personally that it's the power structures. It's the power structures that have caused the war. It's not white on black or black on white, or it's those that hold the power which are turning us human beings against one another, and we've got to realise that and come together as human beings to change it. And we just got to learn to forgive one another and be brothers and sisters, because all human life matters, all life matters on earth, because this is paradise.
Sorry. I would like to welcome Josephine. I don't know if you were there last time, but she's here with us again today.
Hi, kia ora. My name is Josephine. The disturbing image of the murder of George Floyd serves as a powerful symbol. Of course, it was the symbol that inspired millions of people across the world to take to the streets to protest. Yet neither of the major political parties have come up with policies that can radically transform our society into a just one. It is a question of political will. It's not a question of lack of resources. In recent times, we have heard debates about greater Maori representation in the major political parties' front benches. Representation, while is welcome, is not a solution to these issues that I've underlined. The solutions actually are not that complex. They just require the will to redistribute the wealth in this nation in a just way that reflects the historical injustice done to the people of this land. On the day of George Floyd's murder, Dr. Cornel West said, "This is a lynching of the highest level, and I thank God that people of all races, genders, sexual orientations are on the streets protesting." And I see that here today. And this is what we require. Beyond allyship, we require solidarity. And that's the solidarity I experience here. Aroha nui. Kia ora. Thank you.
Wow, that was powerful. I don't know if everybody feel it, but that was powerful. Thank you so much. I would just like to welcome Trina to give us a few words.
Tēnā tātou katoa, he uri tēnei no mātātua waka, ko Ngāti Awa, ko Ngāti Ahamoa, me tonga no te moana nui a kiwa o ngā iwi, ko Trina Wakanahau. It's awesome to see you all here today. I'm just going to break down, I've actually prepared something. I did something really uncomfortable this week by challenging a racist and homophobic pastor that actually used to be my pastor. So you may have seen the post on Facebook. But what I'm about to say is going to be uncomfortable for some of you, and it's not actually what I prepared, but it's because I'm seeing what I saw at the protest last time. So while I thank you for your solidarity and for showing out for us, for all people of colour, for our black communities, I just need to say that part of decolonising and part of supporting us is letting us have a voice and letting us stand up. And at the last protest and right here today, no offence, well kind of, you're probably going to take it offensively, but Pākehā, you need to wait, okay? You need to let us have our voices. Even the last protest wasn't about us as tangata whenua, but it was just Black Lives Matter. This is a solidarity, showing today, so, we're all here, and, this is about systemic racism here in Aotearoa as well. So, sorry if you're offended by that, but you need to go around and you need to have a think about that. Okay, so anyways, I'll go on to what I just so what I prepared. So I see this battle with the system like being in a relationship where one side inflicts painful trauma on the other side, but instead of reconciliation, which would require acknowledgement, the righting of wrongs where possible, and changed behaviour, this relationship has turned toxic. Instead of reconciliation, there's silent treatment, there's name calling, there's gaslighting, and there's minimising effects of past behaviour. We will continue to be victims of this toxic relationship until we fully understand and we declare that we deserve better. We need to step away from this toxic relationship, and we need to work on ourselves and require what we deserve from every future relationship. We need to change the narratives over our own lives and those narratives that are spoken over us right from when we're born. We are not victims. Seeing our value and demanding better is not victimhood, and it is not victim mentality. We are hardworking, we are smart, we are creative, we're powerful, and our tupuna are behind us. We can do anything and we can do everything. I don't have all the answers on this. I literally saw a post that really pissed me off. It made me sad, it made me cry. And so I put it up, thought I would have a fight with some of my whānau and friends, and it, went a lot further than that. So here we are. I don't have all the answers. I just have a wahanui, and I'm not afraid to use it. We need to decolonise our thinking, our being. We need to utilise our many strengths, capabilities and skills that we all collectively have here. Look how many people are here. We can change this country with just this amount of people. So between us, we need to get strategic. And, this kind of thing is awesome, but we need to do things in our own community as well. So we need to get strategic, and although the system wasn't built for us, we need to use it where possible. I want put your hand up if after you saw that video you made a complaint to the Human Rights Commission or the Charities Commission. That's stuff all. So I challenge each and every one of you, go and watch that video, and if you think it was a breach of human rights and and they shouldn't be registered as a charity, I challenge you, go and make a complaint. Use the system, okay? Use it. We're all on our phones, okay? We can do it. So use the system. Put your hand up if you're registered to vote in the local or general election. Cool. If you didn't put your hand up, I challenge you, go and get yourself registered. It's not that hard. Also, for those of you that think that voting doesn't matter because you think that the system is corrupt, it's not really that hard to go and vote anyway, just in case, okay? So in talking about being strategic, I never planned to have to do this, but I put up a post and here we are, and I've had to examine myself and what I can do and what my friends can do. So me and my friends, we will be running some workshops on systematic racism and decolonising ourselves. I have some friends that work at the uni and they're dope, and they've been doing this thing way longer than most of us. So we'll be running them in Aranui, so in the same area where where this pastor thought he could whakaiti my people, we're going to run some more workshops to educate and empower our people there. So I'm going to post on my page. If you're following that post, then keep an eye on there. I'll put a link in there. I'll put a link in for this protest. But we're actually going to do this. So I challenge you, you've shown up today, but show up to keep educating yourself. I don't know everything. You don't know everything. But that's really all I have to say, is stand up and keep the same energy, because we deserve better. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa.
Thank you, Trina, for words of encouragement and empowerment. And like she said, keep it going till change happens. Don't stop, don't give up. Thank you. I would just like to read a poem a friend of mine sent. Couldn't be here with us today, but it is called The Signs of Life. Feel your heart beat. Does your seat of feeling still bleed? Screams of innocent blood still soak this earth, echoed in time to revoke its dirt. Ancient cries crisscrossed and burst. The lighter the better, the darker the cursed. Screams of dark infants buried alive. Screams of black orphans left to die. Echoes of their screams are still alive today. Echoes of their screams are us today. Ancient tears of the first man's birth. Ancient cries of the red blood curse. Ancient tears of the cotton picker bled. Ancient cries, black or white, they all bled red. Frosted fingers can't find the pulse. Black minds search for the signs of life. One people misled to find faults. Floating carcasses in the artery of life. Ancient serpents polluted our sperm, diluted our indigenous and destroyed our core. Castrated our kings and spread the germs and raped our queens and changed our chores. We still question the image of Jesus. Different color, but one people, one flesh, one breath of life. Blinded searches for the signs of life. Feel your heart beat. Does your seat of feeling still bleed? Can we all please remain silent for a moment just to respect and honor all the lives, black lives, that were murdered since the ancient times and still continues today. So I just want all of us to take a moment of silence to just pay respect. Kia ora. Again, I just want to point out, thank you all for coming. And we have a guest speaker here today with us. And, how do I even put this in words? Each and every one here today, regardless of your skin color, regardless of your background, ethnicity, this and that, but we're all here today for one purpose. And it is to bring peace, it is to end racism, it is to bring equality. And I just want to just say that we're all here to do good. And no matter what the skin color, I just want to say thank you so much. And I would just like to welcome Duncan Wood to come. And I just want to say that, thank you for coming here today. Your support means a lot, that, you're saying that you're hearing our voices, that you're hearing our cries. And I hope it continues and we make a change in this nation. Thank you.
Tēnā koutou katoa, ngā mihi nui. First of all, I'm white, so thanks for having me. And I think it's important to point that out, I am a guest here. This is not my movement, but Tātoko, I support your movement, yeah? I think that's really important. And, I can see all these fantastic signs out here, but I'm just going to say, if I may, a few words to the white faces in the crowd, because I think there's a few things in our support for this movement that we need to think about. And the first thing is, and I want to say this, is we need to admit, we need to recognise that this is not an equal society in which we live, yeah? And we've each got a job here, a role. We've each got our own people and our own connections and our own roles, and in that role, let's commit to doing something about it, yeah? That's why I'm here. That's why I do what I do. And I want, so if you support me, when I go and do my job, I'll support you here today, yeah? Kia ora. The second thing I want to say to the white faces in the crowd, and I think every white face in here is here for the right reason, is let's not be afraid. This is not about conflict. This is about resolving conflict. Let's embrace the conversation. And you know what? Let's accept it's not an easy conversation. I've heard these fantastic speakers have got a great career in politics if they want it. But, there's some hard words in there. There are some accusations in there. There are some wrongs in there that need to be righted. That's always a difficult conversation. But if we come at it with love and with the right motives, we can have those conversations. So that's what we need to do, yeah? And not feel that this is an attack on me or you, but it's a lifting up of people who have been downtrodden for too long, And you know what? This isn't my protest, it's your protest, and so that's all I'm going to say, but thanks again for having me.
Kia ora. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming down. I would like to welcome Chris to say some words. Thank you, Chris.
What's up? Maole, kara, namaste. It's good to be here. First off, I'd like to give thanks and praises to the Most High for this beautiful, lovely afternoon. Gathered here, what a coincidence, under this bridge of remembrance. Good to see all your beautiful faces. How y'all feeling? Good? Irie? All right. Okay, there's one subject that I would like to speak on in particular. Equality, going off what Duncan was talking about, right? Yeah, equality for does not mean less equal rights for you, less rights for others. What it does mean though is happier neighbors, happier brothers and sisters. It means, happiness, and with happiness comes, I guess, productivity, more proactiveness, togetherness in the community, and which results into communities flourishing and living harmoniously. Yeah, what a beautiful world that would be, eh? I do encourage you all to take courage in these trying times. It is all, I guess, fairly new waters. Not so much for some, but I encourage you all to take courage and walk through these gates into a new tomorrow. A new tomorrow that may seem foreign or like crazy, but take courage. Say, let go of past ways of running systems and societies, and walk forward with peace, with love, with compassion, with understanding. Whereas I guess we can all relate to hurt, to sadness, sorrow, right? And we can also relate to happiness and joy and all the goodness that this life has to offer. Blessed peace and love. Everyone have a good afternoon, and power to the people.
Thank you for sharing positive vibes with us, and take courage, guys, take courage. I would just like to welcome A from the Green Party to speak here today. Thank you.
Kia ora, I'm Abe O'Donnell, a prospective candidate for the Green Party. I stand with my colleagues in support of the Black Lives Matter cause. I've come here to listen and do what I can. Thank you.
Cheers. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, solid. That was all right. That was pretty average. Okay. Yeah. Nice. We'll go over this way and we'll go that way. Are we ready? Okay. Good. Oh, I know it's cold. I know it's cold. I'm freezing cold. So we're going to try this again and we're going to get some noise happening up in here, okay? We're going to get some noise. If you got some signs, put it between your legs. And I want some... Okay? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! 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 Can we do it a second time? Go! 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 Woo! Oh, that's good. Are you guys feeling warm? Awesome, fantastic. Now I know what you're thinking with the oh man, is he allowed to do that with all of this? Yes, I am. I can do whatever I want. Listen. Okay, I'm gonna give it a go. I'm gonna give something a go, and we'll see if you guys can catch on. Okay. Black lives matter. 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 What? Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Yeah, let's come on, keep going. Black lives matter. Get loud. Get loud. What? Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Awesome, fantastic, fellow. I'm getting warm. Are you guys feeling warm yet? A little bit. Okay, turn to the people next to you and say, you matter. That's right. Now turn to the other person next to you and say, no, you matter. Fantastic. Awesome, fella. Now turn to the person behind you and say, no. You matter. Awesome. When I say black lives, you say black lives matter, okay? So, black lives what? Black lives matter. 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 Black lives what? Lives matter. Give yourselves a round of applause for the well done. Let's get going.
I'm just going to hand the mic over to kids.
So we're going to start marching over to the precinct, and I've just got a few chants. If you want to chant while we're walking, so I just want to show you guys some of them. So just say Black Lives Matter. So when I say Black Lives Matter, you can retaliate and say Black Lives Matter. So, okay, here we go. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives what? Black Lives Matter. Black Lives what? Black Lives Matter. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives
thank you all to come out today, especially our own brave African, Māori, Polynesian descent people. And I also want to thank our European brothers and sisters too that come out. I know it takes a lot for these guys to show up and do this. And believe me, for myself, I'm sure it's been for everyone here too, that, you know, we love this for that. We really do. Alright, let's do another lap then. Let's go.
Black lives what? Black lives matter! Black lives what? Black lives matter! That's nada!
This is what democracy looks like. Black lives matter.
The folk shall be within you.
Now run again, got the whole world talking. right.